Sounds like
Yep.
Work Central.
So, welcome to Buckle Up with Mike
Many people.
and Brian. Guys, we got special guests today. I'm so stoked. We have two of our East Coast guys visiting us this week, and you guys get to talk to him or them on tech support, as well as all of us get on the forum and answer questions. But this is David, and that is Nate, and I'm sure you guys are all familiar with those names.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Mike, and I'm not. But Mike, check. 1, 2, he's here.
Hi.
Okay, before we get started, our next Buckle Up is on November 4th, so mark it in your calendars. And today's topic, kick it off, give it back to you guys.
It's the heating season.
It is.
Tis
So,
the season.
tis the season to start working on heat. So in that whole realm, and it's nice to have the East Coast boys here because you guys freeze your asses off.
Oh yeah,
more than
I
we
freeze
do.
all the time down in
Down in
Florida.
Well,
Yeah.
David understands.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's kind of got snow every once in a
Yeah,
while.
but he's from Michigan, so.
Yes, I had to deal with the rooftop works at 12 degrees and with a wind chill of -5.
So your work
Good
truck
fun.
was a sled dog.
Yes, yes. Good fun.
So specific topics before we open up the channel to questions, like 90% furnaces. When you're going out and checking your 90% furnaces, make sure that the tubes are clear, the tubes run straight to the collector boxes. Make sure that your P-traps on the collector boxes are primed and ready to go. If it's been raining, make sure that the arrows, I know I had a tech support call last season and on an 8-year-old 90% furnace, and it was just a muddy mess. It was rusty. It was like every time they turned it on, water would pour out in all the wrong places.
Yep.
So it's like I'm looking at a drawing, he's looking at the machine, and I'm going, something doesn't sound right, let me send you the drawing. So I sent him what I was looking at, and then he referred to what he was looking at, and he goes, holy crap, that arrow is supposed to be pointing up. So when they originally installed the furnace, they never moved the collector box. So the collector box was pointed down, hence it was raining,
And it's collecting.
and all he needed to do was take out the 3 screws, turn it right side up, put it all back together, put all the tubing back on, and the machine quit raining. So it's little stupid things like that that will that'll catch you off guard.
And the tubing, and just the tubing for the different ports.
Yeah.
That,
Yep.
You
That's
gotta
a
have
big
the right
problem.
tubes.
Yeah, we have that a lot every year.
Somebody says, oh, I'll put this tube here, but it's the wrong configuration. So make sure you're following those installation instructions
Yeah.
on that.
We've got a lot more manuals now they can refer to on the database too, so that'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing is watch your venting. I had one guy call me and say, yeah, it just doesn't work. And I go, what's your vent look like? 2.5 inch, and we got 12 90s and 300 feet of pipe.
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Not on 90. Not on 90.
Better get a 5 horsepower combustion blower.
Uh-huh. Yep, exactly. Yeah, a lot of times it's installation error, and guys don't catch it, things compound. So.
Speaking of installation, when you do install a new furnace, warn the homeowner that when you first fire it off, it's going to smoke. The heat exchangers are packed with are coated in oil, so they don't rust while they're sitting in the factory. Open up the windows, fire that thing up before you leave. Make sure it runs.
And make sure
properly.
you tell them you're going to do it before
Yeah.
you do it.
It's always nice to get your customers involved. Have the customer go, hey, would you mind running through all 3 floors of your house and open up all the doors and windows, because we're going to fire off this furnace for the first time and it's going to get a little smoky in here.
You don't want to crawl out from a crawl space and have the fire department pulling up. So
And David's got another tip.
you change out a heat exchanger. So I used to do this all the time. You got a package in it. Put a piece of metal, or usually metal, to block the airflow into the building. So and then run it with the top off. Burn off all the oil and just let the smoke go up. When it's done, make sure you pull that metal back out. Then put the top on. You'll be good to go.
Key word there is remember to take the metal out.
Not like I've ever done that. Right?
Oh no, we've never, none of us sitting at the removable benches, none of us have made errors ever. In our,
No.
It's always a challenge to see how many people you can get running out of the building.
Well, it's always fun when you're the guy that's causing the big red truck to show up. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I had him put the building on test. I thought I was clear. I started grinding pipe on the 9th floor. And the next thing I know, I got a building engineer and a fire captain staring at me in the equipment room going, dude, well, I put the building on test.
That's a good point. Putting the
And
building
cover
on
up the
test.
smoke.
Right now, getting into the heating season, you know, Florida, we don't use heat that much. It's typically electric heat. Dust builds up throughout the season, throughout the cooling season. And every first cold day every year, fire departments, you see fire trucks flying all over the place
Non-stop.
because turn the heat on and it burns that dust off of the heating elements and sends smoke up through the system. And so,
Not necessarily smoke, but smell. And one thing
What?
old people can do in Florida is smell. They can't hear and they can't see, so the only thing they've got left.
They can't drive either.
Ready for the first question?
Ready?
Yes, of course.
All right. How do you size a circulator pump, generally speaking?
GPM, pipe size, and the GPM is going to be based on need. So it gets into a mathematical formula that I don't have in front of me. Anybody got this mathematical formula on top of their head?
no.
Well, I'm glad you guys showed up today. You make it look good over here. No, I'm sorry. It's a mathematical formula. So send a what is it? A DM to Jess with your email address. I will get you the formula to calculate that. Because the pump, it's based on GPM, but it's also based on feet ahead, and that's, you got to do math.
Brian's not very good at math, so.
We help them though.
Well, I'm good at it as long as I can see the formula.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't retain.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Brian, did you turn your phone off?
Yes. Yes, I did. And I've got plenty of Pepsi, but I still don't have a Pepsi sponsorship. Hashtag PepsiCo. Thanks. Still thirsty.
Yeah.
Danny says, "Nice hat, Brian."
Thanks. Check it out. You can do a lot of stuff with. I'm liking this whole. Get this all folded up. It's kind of a featherdora.
There you go.
That's kind of a Heisenberg look.
Oh,
Yes.
a Hindenburg look.
Heisenberg from Breaking
And
Bad.
then I can do this for the guys that really. So that's a good look.
If you pull it all down, you got the Gilligan look.
And then I can do the Gilligan.
There you go.
Yep, I can do the Gilligan thing.
You know what I'm talking about there, right?
No.
Google
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's why they call us old, Mike.
This is true.
Is this a movie?
Gilligan's
No, it
Island.
was
show.
actually a daily show that we watched as kids. It's called Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
It actually was in black and white. When it
They
first
went
came
out on a 3-hour tour. And it lasted several seasons.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
On a 3-hour tour.
So back to heat, if we don't have any questions yet.
We have another one.
Oh, all right. We'll
Oh,
go
cool.
with that one then.
Second part of the question.
Is it better to reduce the gas pressure a bit or always keep it at 3.5 inches?
Depends on
Any
manufacturer.
one of you guys want to attack that?
for
The standard I've ever seen has been 3.5 inches. So you're asking because you're running into an issue. If the machine is tripping on limit, you need to find out why it's tripping on limit. If you start reducing the gas pressure, you're asking for other problems down the road. Delayed ignition. And I'm in Southern California, and Southern California Gas Company says that delayed ignition is anything less than 10 seconds. So if it lights within 0 to 10 seconds, it was a delay, not really an issue. And when you're dealing with a 2.5 million BTU boiler, 5 seconds is a freaking eternity.
Things go boom quick.
So, no, I mean, if you do your air balance and you do your air tests and everything is spot on, and you need to reduce it from 3.5 down to 3.3, and the machine lights off fine, and that's what it takes, then that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Double check your manometers. If you're having a balancing issue with your gas, go old school and get a water manometer instead of a digital manometer. I've always carried both. I've got probably 3 water manometers, and I have 7 thanks to an MVB boiler I had to work on. Digital manometers. God, there's a lot of ports on that thing.
How do you regulate a 2-stage gas valve for a low NOx furnace? Is that a thing? Or Lena?
low NOx.
Yeah,
Okay.
low NOx.
Yeah.
Yep, a low NOx furnace. David,
How do you regulate it?
how do you regulate?
How do you regulate a 2-stage gas valve?
There's a bunch of different ways, depends on the manufacturer, and what brand of gas valve it is, but also what brand of furnace it is.
Don't you always set your high fire?
Yeah, you're supposed to, but some of them, they have a bunch of different steps you have to do first. So it all depends on the manufacturer. It's not there's not really a straight answer for that. But I mean, we can help you with that. It's just every furnace is different, so it's hard to give you a general or just an idea. So I would think if you really need help with that, just give us a call.
So there's no rule of thumb. Call Blue on tech support. Ask for Dave.
He's got you.
Dave's not here, man. Dave's not here, man. It is kind of fun having you guys here.
Oh,
I had
sure.
somebody else other than Mikey to pick on.
Do you guys have any basics you would want to draw out on the whiteboard?
No, but I got one.
No.
You know,
No.
one of the things that's really helpful is if you go look in the manual, look for the design heat rise across the heat exchanger. That can give you some really good information as to how your airflow is.
Thanks, Brian.
We were talking about this today too. When you're
Let's see if I can.
changing out your glow bar, we call it glow bars,
See if I can.
glow igniter,
Hot surface
igniter.
Okay.
Don't touch the igniter with your fingers. The oil on your finger will get on there, and then when you fire that thing up, it will go pop, and you have to go and get you another hot surface igniter.
It's also not good to touch them while they're hot.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
Oh no! Touch them while they're hot. That will teach you not to freaking touch them.
Does Hangman?
No, no. Hangman would be this. All right.
He's trying to draw a flux capacitor.
No, it's. We had a question come in earlier today on tech support. So, being that we have a minute, so this is your pilot coming in here.
I see it now.
So you have flame coming out. Oh, that's a terrible flame.
It was a terrible flame.
It is a terrible flame. And this one comes out of your pilot tubing. So this is your igniter. I wish I had another color.
There are many.
you
There are
got it.
20 of them.
Well, no, I know there's plenty of colors there, but you see what I'm holding, David?
Here you go. Here's
Okay.
blue.
Okay, blue. So you get a spark. Draw a spark. Go ahead, Nate. Draw a spark. Draw a spark. So the spark goes from the electrode. There's another little. This would typically be red. Nice little red wire. This spark will hit the gas that's coming out of the pilot hood, igniting the flame. So once it ignites the flame, then, and this is a little older school.
Yeah.
So this is a spark igniter, and that power from the spark igniter is going here all the time. So even now, once the flame lights, it hits the flame rod. It transfers. Can I get a red, please? You guys are awesome. We need 15 guys here all the time. So the red is going to be a transfer of power from the spark igniter to the flame rod. This is voltage. It's sending the voltage that was causing the spark over here. Now it's sending it the other way, and then this wire is going back to the board, which is proof that you have pilot flame and then it will open up the main burner and rock and roll. If this flame, when the main burner comes on, if this flame gets pulled away, this is really tough to try and do. If the flame gets pulled away from the flame rod, when the main burners come on, you need to do something with the pilot, because now you don't have that connection between the spark igniter and the flame rod. So it's breaking that connection, saying that I really don't have pilot, even though that pilot's lit, and it'll drop out the main gas. That's what I was trying to show. Thank you very much.
We see a lot more of those now on commercial use than we do on residential. Most residential are the hot service igniters.
Yeah, and then back in the day, and again, I'm going to go back to last year. I'm sure they're getting fewer and fewer. Most of you guys are familiar with 80% and 90% furnaces, but before there was a percent,
You rub two sticks together.
it was between sitting out in the backyard and burning wood, and when they actually put furnaces in closets. Not to mention the floor
the
furnaces
floor.
and wall furnaces and things like that. But they had what they called a standing pilot. So the standing pilot had a thermocouple. The thermocouple went from the pilot like I showed, but instead of having the spark igniter probe, it was a thermocouple. The thermocouple would see the heat of the pilot and send a millivolt signal back to the gas valve, holding the pick coil for the pilot. So you would have to push a button, you had to turn the valve. You guys probably see this. Oh my gosh, I almost said it. On water heaters, where you turn it to the pilot position and push the red button down. The reason I almost said it is because that's the latest joke in our industry is people are calling them hot water heaters. And the one that I saw this morning with the drawing of the water heater in a bikini, that was funny. Thanks, Gary. I enjoyed that one. That was my morning chuckle, having coffee. There was a hot water heater. So, at any rate, I digress. So on the thermocouple comes to the gas valve. You put it in the pilot position, you push down the button, you light the pilot, it heats up the thermocouple. You have to hold that for a good 60 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Easy.
clock it for 60 seconds,
Yep.
and then release the button. If the pilot stays on, that means that the pick held, and now you can turn it to main burner, and away you go. The same thing happens on those when the main burner lights. If it pulls that flame away from the thermocouple, then the thermocouple is going to cool down. It's going to drop the pick coil. As soon as it drops the pick coil, no more gas.
Yeah.
So you have to start that process over again. The point of bringing those up is both of those scenarios indicate that your pilot is dirty.
Yep.
Wow, that was a long story to tell you.
It's
That
like,
pilot's
I don't know
dirty.
if this is
All right, that's it. We'll buckle up.
I don't know if this is relevant anymore, but Danny said ask him how many millivolts.
Depends if it's a thermocouple or a thermal pile.
Yeah, there was thermocouples and there was thermopiles. Thermocouples, oh my God, thanks for testing my memory. 750 millivolts. Thermopiles were 75.
You got it backwards.
I got it backwards?
Thermocouple is an individual, thermal pile is a bunch of thermocouples.
Oof.
No, but what's the voltage? The millivoltage? Because
300 to 750 on a thermal pile.
Can we get a
so yeah,
fact
the thermopile
fact
was
checker
300
out
or
there?
was
300 to 750.
Fact
300
check.
to 750. The thermocouple was 75.
What's
Right.
up, Danny?
David's
What
on
do we
it.
got? Is he right?
We're waiting for your response. Let's
Come
go.
on, Danny.
Come on, come
Checking
on.
me, bro.
He's Googling it.
He's
He said thanks. Is it correct? We shall see.
Oh, there's a lot of guys out there that'll tell me whether or not I'm correct. But yes, the thermopile was it's fatter. And thermopile, the other way to know a thermopile is it's got two wires going to the gas valve, where a thermocouple looks like a copper
He
tube.
said 30 millivolts. No.
No. 75 millivolts, 750 millivolts was the thermopile. 75 millivolts for a thermocouple, right? Man, it's been a long time, Danny. Thanks for embarrassing the hell out of me. Testing. I gotta look and see if the rest of my phone turned
Thermocouples
off.
are only 30 millivolts, he says.
30?
Thermocouples.
Thermocouple? Thank
So,
you, Danny.
so Danny, since you're throwing it in, what else do we use thermocouples for in measuring?
Please.
Wah, wah, wah. That's what a lot of your test probes are.
Nathan, what is your daughter's name?
Kelly.
Kelly, do you see what's on the table? All right, just throwing a shout out to Kelly. Thank you.
Love you, baby girl.
No questions?
Anybody want to say hi to?
No.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, family.
Hi, family.
No questions?
No?
Oh, I get to go back to my fun stuff? Oh, this is awesome.
Continue your drawing.
Um,
People love the drawings.
Okay, so. No.
Okay, okay.
I've got another one. See, you guys think I just carry a Zippo for no reason. If your pilot looks like this, that is dirty. You see the yellow?
Should be blue.
Not supposed to be yellow. If you are in a blue with a white, see this is nothing. The blue is really cold. So you guys don't think I'm sticking my finger in there, but I'm sticking my finger.
I zoomed.
The blue is cold. This yellow is dirty. It's hot, but it's dirty. So you're gonna go with an orange. If you could actually see it a little bit better, there's orange down around the middle of this. And the orange is what you wanna see, not the yellow. The yellow is what they call candling. So that's an easy way of looking at your pilot to see if the pilot needs to be cleaned. You can also, when you fire up the machine, just tap on your gas line, anywhere on the gas line, and you'll see what orange looks like. Because it kicks up the dust. Dust is normal, especially on a first fire. You'll see a whole bunch of dust, and if you just tap on that, it will burst in a beautiful orange color, and then usually everything will go back to blue with a nice orange top and no candling. You do not want anything yellow. Yellow is sooty.
Cool.
What other beautiful tips? This is old.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something here. So
What's your opinion of pulse? And we're not talking. No, I'm good. I'm still here.
Pulse furnaces.
So a lot of you guys probably are not seeing them, but they just like the old Hollies and Pioneers, and well, Pioneers should not be in existence anymore because they were recalled for bad fireboxes. And they were easy to check. You didn't even have to use a flashlight because the firebox was typically laying on the burners.
Pulse
They
furnaces.
were bad. But pulse furnaces, David and I think, are the ones that have the most experience at Blue On with those, trying to keep it childlike. They were really bad. They were really bad to work on,
With
really
the
hard to
flappers
work on.
and the heat
Oh.
exchangers that leak, you have to put them under pressure to test them, and majority of them have been replaced, but there's still some out there.
There's still some out there. Some people got lucky, but if they're failing, it's the plugs. The plugs get crapped up. The flappers get crapped up. They soot like crazy.
And it takes hours to test them. So,
Yeah.
and they always put them in the worst places under the houses and stuff. So,
And that would be the best scenario for Mr. Customer. We think you need a new one.
yeah, exactly.
I had a young guy call me the other day and he said, I'm like, all you gotta do is check the draft motor. And he goes, well, it's kind of hard because they put the water heater right in front of it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, we get into so much.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. You don't run into it too much anymore, but the Duravent venting, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that or not, but it was 80% furnace with plastic venting pipe.
Yep.
That was all recalled, but there's still a bunch of it out there because I've seen guys ask about it on Facebook, and I've had guys call in about it. The Duravent is extremely dangerous. If you guys run into it, it was recalled. The recall's already over with. If you run into it, you need to pull all that stuff out of there. Put regular flue in, regular B vent in, or replace the furnace with something much more
So,
efficient. So
for the guys that don't understand what B-vent is, Dave,
B-vent is the metal venting, double wall metal venting that locks together.
there we go. Double walled, not the single wall duct that you see on toilet fans.
Yeah, the stuff you
Yeah,
buy
that's
at
when you're
Home
gonna be
Depot,
going,
yeah,
you know,
so-
venting out through
But-
the attic, or
Yeah.
gonna be going through wood. You need to have the B vent.
Yeah. If you-
B-vent is the double wall stuff that the single pipe goes into to go through ceiling space or roof scuffle or anything like that.
Ready for more?
Sure. Yep.
Yep.
All right, we got quite a few rolling in. Okay, is oversizing the return in a furnace setup a bad thing or a good thing?
Never oversized too
Yeah.
much.
You're better off with,
Always
More
air
air.
on over,
Yeah.
as opposed to under.
And the reason for that is on squirrel cage motors, the more air you get it, the higher the amps on the indoor blower. So if you oversize the return, chances are you're gonna overamp the indoor motor. For you wanna prove that, you think I'm crazy, put an amp probe on, well, David knows I'm crazy. We call it weird. Put an amp probe on the high voltage with the blower motor running, and then take the blower motor door off. And that will prove what I just said. The more air you can give the squirrel cage, the more amperage is gonna go on the motor because it's allowed to do more work. It is not like a backwards incline or a plug fan
Yep.
that it doesn't, pardon me, it needs the resistance. So
So I guess you could
So,
oversize.
yeah,
you
but
could oversize it.
You'd be better off to have it a little too large than not large enough. So
Yes.
then you'll overheat the furnace and cause more problems.
Yeah.
So a little too big is better than too small.
So if you are putting and I saw this in one of our tech support calls as well, if you are putting a furnace, not a typical installation where it's on the ground, there's the return air. This thing was actually suspended, full-size furnace, suspended on the wall, and they had no return plenum. And it's like the motor's overamping. It's like, yes, you need you need the return plenum, you need the restriction, and then you can start playing with your amperage by opening the hole. I mean, those nice, oh my gosh, who's the manufacturer? You know, poke a hole and then drill your,
Oh,
And Malcolm.
before Malcolm.
Malcolm, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're doing your first hole, you get the nice Malco tool with the drill motor and cut your nice hole for your, come on, what's the term? With the dovetails, come on.
Take collar.
Collar, start collar.
Sounds
Not an install, yeah.
Sing a few bars. Back to the questions before we get real.
Okay, okay.
Shut up.
What are the two prongs on some gas valves? I've seen some on some overhead gas heaters.
What are the two?
Two prongs, probably the
I-
coil for the gas valve.
Well, no, I've actually seen them. They're actually a safety device. On some of the gas valves that I've seen, they have two prongs. It's kind of not the main ones, but next to it, there's two more prongs that come off.
Okay.
They're actually
Ground.
part of a safety device. That it could be a ground, but I've also seen it where it runs actually out to a what is
A
it?
limit?
Yeah, a limit. That if the limit goes off, it cuts off the gas valve.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll buy that.
Pretty-
I'll buy
Brian,
that for a dollar.
ready to draw again?
Oh, do you need me to draw something?
Yeah.
All right.
Someone asked, can you draw and explain sequencers?
Oh God, sequencers are a lot of fun.
Mike's gonna draw this one.
We don't even need to draw. It's a sequencer
They wanna
is.
draw.
Give the people what they
I'm
want.
gonna draw it. I'm gonna draw it. Mikey's gonna explain it. I got pens.
All right, here's the whole thing on sequencer. You don't want to slam all that heat on at one time because you're going to get this hellacious amount of inrush.
Can you do it?
Yep.
So what happens is you put 24 volts to the sequencer, and depending upon the design of the sequencer, it may be 30 seconds, then the second stage at 60, and the third stage at 90. Now, when I was doing a little bit of research, I found out you can actually get those sequencers up to 16 stages.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Sorry, I don't have a really good view of what
Yeah.
I'm doing, but as
It looks
you,
good. It looks good.
As you energize the coil,
It heats up.
Then this will close, as in first stage. The coil continues to heat, then this one will close as second stage. So all you're doing is staging, and as this coil, it's being pulled down, and this is all amount of time. So you can have third, fourth. I've seen 5. Have you guys seen more
I've
than
seen
Mike
five?
just said he
On
saw
research,
up
I
to
found
16.
up to 16.
Oh, up to 16. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Dot, dot, dot,
So yeah, 16.
Language.
And so the other thing is that typically
Or-
off the first
or dot,
stage
dot.
is when the fan comes on, off of the first stage.
I can't take you anywhere.
At least you spelled it right.
But it'll heat up, time delay for each one, and then as it goes off, they go off, and as it cools down, each one will open back up.
So
but it doesn't
basically,
matter.
it would do the same thing.
Going
with-
off.
going
Well,
up.
actually, it does,
Go
with the
like
fan,
that.
if the fan's
Yeah.
part of the sequencer, the fan has to.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that, because the reason for them is so that you don't have that massive inrush,
Right.
so.
Someone said best app ever. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Cat me, David.
Kind of partial.
Make
to
sure you
himself.
update it. We just added the forum, so make sure it's updated. It's even better.
Yeah, let me throw one little thing in.
I lost my towel.
When you guys call in for tech support,
You didn't tell?
and if the
Can I
tech,
throw something in?
and if the tech asks you for information on your service manager, they're talking about some new things for the app. So what they want to do is they want to kind of just ask your service manager a few questions to kind of interact with him. So don't think they're going to tell you that you're calling in Blue On for tech support or anything like that.
Remember, we're here to support you guys.
Yeah.
We got your back. We're not trying to get you in trouble, so.
Yep.
And it's really no secret as to what we're trying to do. What we are going to be doing is adding parts that you'll be able to look at the piece of equipment in the app. You bring it up in the app, you're looking at the piece of equipment, and you're going to be able to look at parts. So what we're looking for is to get a hold of your service managers to make sure that every one of your guys, every one of your coworkers, they all have the app, they all have access to this, and make the best use of your time. I have a guest. We have a guest person in the audience. Would you do me a great favor, sir, and go in the freezer, and in the door of the freezer there's a bag of ice?
Yep,
I'm running out of
absolutely.
it. Go ahead, right here, right here, right. You don't have to go for it. It's in the Blue On Theater. I forgot to say my eyes. And as the guys know that are listening
Would you like to
us
make
on
an
a regular
appearance?
basis, I need ice. Thank you very much. Warm soda sucks.
Yeah, I didn't get a glass. Thanks.
Yeah, cold Coke sucks worse.
So we, any more questions?
Yes.
Yeah, not really related to heating, but how did you come up with the name Blue On?
It is a story that I can't tell you. I would have to find you, hunt you down, and kill you.
All right. You guys have any more questions on heating? Heating question. Let's
yeah,
go.
No, it's Blue On. Blue On is an older name that has been around. You need to put that back in the freezer, please. My ice will melt. Oh my god, I'm sitting back. All right, so 2011. It's Blue On. It's easier to explain our refrigerant than it is the name of the company, but it was just the original group, and even though you look at it today and you look at what we are doing, I'm still super stoked that we have the ability to help you guys by picking up a phone. And so it was a group of people that got together, investors if you will, and they're the ones that chose Blue On, and really to try and get it, and I'm one of the original guys that's been here since 2011, and to try and get a straight answer out of them how in the world they came up with BLUON. You guys can make up all kinds of stuff that you want to, but there really is no straight answer that I've ever gotten from them. So
So I've been here like 5 years, and I have no idea how they got the name, so.
yeah, well, I can easier explain the refrigerant than I can where that came from, but it is from the original group of people that got together and it I don't know. Blue on sounds awesome. It looks great on a hat.
I'm gonna get a little close up. Smile. Smile, Brian. You look great.
Try. When do I not smile? Here you go. Is it? Am I straight? Do I need?
Yes, you're good. Let us know if you guys would want those in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Comment
convince. I'm gonna try and convince the people that do these up because you guys see our hats. You guys all want the hat, but look at this one, man. You can do so much with this. This is like
Be so proud of that.
I love this hat. I didn't think I would look good in a floppy, but check it out.
All right, we got a few questions. We'll start with a actual question first. Talk about first and second stages of heat. It's more of a statement, but
Yeah. Well,
a demand, really.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And it does come to demand.
It does.
Yeah.
W1, W2.
Yeah.
We can nail that. High, low. If just like your condensing units, right?
yeah.
If you don't need the full capacity of the machine,
Yeah.
then it only runs Y1.
Yeah.
But if your load becomes more, then it does Y2. And
In
the
this
same
case,
thing
W.
with the furnace.
And there's some examples where it'll start off on high and run for a certain amount of time and then go to low, and or the other way around. They start off on low, it doesn't satisfy, then it goes to high. It's all different based on the manufacturer.
And to kind of clarify that one, the manufacturers that require it to start on high first never figured out how to not make it go boom on low fire.
That's your delay in action.
Ah, there you go. Now full circle back to delay.
If we light it at full capacity and then back it off, it'll quit making that boom noise. Go with that. Any more questions, Jess?
No questions, just some statements.
Oh, I like that.
Are they good statements or bad statements?
Go ahead, guys, pick on me. I like the hat.
Yes, it is bullying, but
Oh.
it's okay. From Danny, so it makes it okay.
There you go.
Oh, well.
He said Dennis needs a tan.
I'm not Dennis, I'm Dave.
It's Dave.
This
The
is
name's
not
right.
This is known as.
Dennis
right.
is
North
not on
Carolina.
this.
All right, we're going down. You ready?
Okay.
No.
Look.
This is why Brian doesn't wear shorts.
See?
And it
See?
makes Dave look
Yeah,
really
look, now
good.
they look tan, see? It's all a matter of perspective.
All right. And to help out and to help and to help out Mike, there we go. Shoe off. Burger socks.
There you go.
Oh, do I need to bring my I can get this up here. All right, burger sock.
That's why she did that without knocking on the pencil.
Tater
I am
said I'm
still-
blind.
All right, now we got more questions.
Anything to keep you fun dressing.
That happens, I'm leaving.
Oh, Data. I did tell you guys that that's Dave and that's Nate, right? Okay. Oh, this is Mike. That's Nate.
Yes.
And you can tell David and Nate are from the East Coast because they're in gray,
Yeah, because we got the cool shirts.
and Mike and Brian are in blue. The competition started at noon.
Are you guys fans of heat pumps?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've worked on thousands of them. Yep.
Yep.
All right.
If
They're
they're,
more
if they're
cool.
designed properly and installed properly, they're great.
Yeah.
Okay, you just asked for an opinion. Their opinion is winter. I'm in Southern California. Electricity is freaking expensive in Southern California. I am not a fan. I do not want a heat pump on my house. I want electric cool because they don't make Arclas anymore.
God. Carbon dating. Hope.
Hey, I would rather run a 10 to 15 degree split all day long for $10 a month than this electric monster that I've got. No, okay. So no, I'm not a fan of heat pumps on a personal level. As a mechanic, as a technician, oh, I love them.
Yeah. Now,
Every time that compressor goes out, You get a compressor, a reversing valve, a filter dryer. Guaranteed an 8-hour day. Get it done in
Best
7,
of both worlds,
go
though.
home.
With a 2-hour lunch.
The best of both worlds is a dual fuel with a heat pump and a gas furnace back.
Oh my gosh, yes. You poor guys on the East Coast. I feel so bad for you.
Fine. That's what I have on my house.
I've had
I
heat
feel
on
so
in my
bad for
house
you.
once in the last 15 years, 16 years.
What's that?
I've had heat on in my house once in the last.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Southern Florida. So, we
But
don't
that's
wanna hear it.
Florida, dude.
Yeah, it's
That's,
great.
you know, you really do have the best of all worlds.
Except for the
All except for having to board up his windows when the hurricanes come through.
Well, you know, there's a minor thing, and if he
Got down to
was-
the science now.
and if he was smart, he would have had hinges. At any rate,
He would've just done a push
I'm not
button.
going to go into what they're
Just
doing.
to
in
put a push
Florida.
button in, up and down.
It's like,
There you go.
really, you take the screws in and out every time. You guys
Yep.
don't know what hinges are? Hinge pins.
We know.
Lock it
Real
down.
shutters.
You know, I don't know. It's like, wow.
Okay.
Introduce you to some old school stuff.
You're gonna talk about the rubbing the wood together to start the fire?
That's those guys, yeah. Floridians.
Uh-oh, you're smiling. What else?
Just stuff she can't
Oh,
say.
somebody's beating me up again. I like it. Even Danny. Okay, see that
Oh, thank God for surface tension.
perfect pour right there. It didn't spill a drop. So what
Alright.
are the tricks? What are the tricks?
Huh. It's been a long time since I've done much heating. I've been in Florida for 16 years.
So we talked about the sequencer.
Yeah.
What are the other things in strip heat that you run across in Florida? They're not sequencers, and they're not the heater themselves.
Thermal fuse.
Thermal fuse or elements.
Thermal fuses and the overloads, right?
Yeah.
Why would an electric strip heat trip a thermal overload on a air hammer?
Couple reasons. Let's see if Florida.
Let's see if Florida can pull this off. David,
Yes.
he's way too slow. We only have a certain amount of time. Go ahead, throw the
Usually
answer up.
It's either low airflow or low airflow.
So what I
There's a
was
couple
looking
reasons.
for our East Coast guys to come up with was low airflow due to the same reasons that a gas furnace would trip off on high limit. The blower's not working properly, the filter's dirty, the customer has gone through going, I don't use these 16 rooms, I only use these 2.
So I close off the vents and
When they close off the vents, these are the common things that you run into.
Yeah, I got a great one the other day. The customer had put 3 MERV 12s or MERV 16 filters.
To make it bigger.
Right, no,
Yeah.
no. Right after each other.
Right.
And they said that it keeps kicking off on the limit switch, the high limit and everything. And I'm like,
No.
you really think so?
Yeah.
Let's reduce
See, that's the
that.
problem with the heat strips though, is when it burns out that thermal overload, you gotta pull those heat strips out and change it. So, like a heat exchanger or a gas furnace, you just take out the filter and reset it, so.
Yeah.
Well, I did have a call today. For all you all on the, because it was perfect. It was a heating. I mean, just before we went on air, gentleman called in. He had an error code, and he just wanted to confirm that he understood what the error code was. It was a lockout for more than an hour on a limit, and the limit could have been a rollout switch or the actual high limit in the firebox.
Right.
So he ohmed them all out, came to the one in the firebox. Now the firebox is cold; it hasn't ran,
Right.
and so he ohmed it out, and of course it read open. So if he jumped it, of course the alarm went away, the codes went away, cleared. But I asked him to tap on it and reread the limit. He did. It did sort of close, but it was only at 12.5 ohms. And if you have a safety switch that is reading over 1 ohm, chances are that safety switch is shot. In his particular case, it was 12.5 ohms. I guarantee you that was not going to make enough circuit, to get the feedback to the board, it wouldn't have fired at 12.5 ohms. Typically, you're looking for 0.5 or less on safety switches in ohms, not continuity. Continuity just shows that it's got voltage from one side to the other. That's when you're looking at resistance, which a lot of the electronics nowadays, if it shows a high resistance, it's going, nope, there's a problem. So
Cool. We'll start to wrap it up. If you have any last minute questions about heating, leave them in the chat.
oh my gosh, we've already been here for that long.
Guess how long? No. Don't take it.
I don't guess. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys. This has been a great show. I really appreciate it. The forum, our next Buckle Up, November 4th. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys being here. As always, Mr. Mikey. Love you,
YouTube?
brother. You guys stay safe.
YouTube.
We can't push that enough. We're getting into the heating season. I know I pushed electrical safety during the whole entire summer. Make sure that you guys didn't get electrocuted. We make absolutely zero jokes when it comes to this allowable delay of ignition. Guys, keep your faces when you're firing up a furnace for the first time. Any electrical, when you're firing this stuff up, keep your face away from the direct line. Protect yourselves at all costs. It's a huge thing. We're here to help you. We want to make sure that you guys get home to see your families and friends every day. Love hearing from you. Check out the forum. Ask your questions there. We have all the guys that answer the tech support calls. We're also watching the forum all day long. So that is something that is monitored 24/7, just like our tech support line. So it's a great place.
Questions.
Yeah, ask your questions there. It's not only you're going to get a response from us, but in the forum, you can actually get a response from somebody in your neighborhood, somebody in your state, somebody in a different state that's dealing with the same thing. So
you can answer somebody's question. You know the answer, get in there and answer it.
Jump in.
Help out your fellow tech.
It's the forum. It's turning out great. We've got over, you've probably seen our ads. Thank you to everybody. Over 70,000 members.
71, over 71.
Almost 72. So I was correct in over 70. But that's, I'm super excited. All of you guys, we do this thing on Instagram every other week. And it is so much fun for me and Mike to get on here. I love it. We had the East Coasters, but look at us on YouTube as well. We've got long videos, short videos, different instructional stuff on there. So look us up on both. Look us up on the Instagram, like, subscribe, hit the bell. YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the reminders. I've got personal goals, but at any rate,
if there's something you guys would like to see, let us know too. So.
Yeah, send us a DM and I'll keep it.
And I know everybody out there that wants Jess to be on this side of the camera one of these days, and we're gonna get her there. DM Jess through our Instagram account or YouTube, or just get on there, like, subscribe. Appreciate all y'all.
Cool.
November 4th, 4 p.m. Pacific time. See y'all then.
Peace out.
Later.